7 o'clock Thursday night, the Garnet and Old show. No inside info, no contacts, no problem. I'm one of your hosts, Big Papa East. That is my man, Vincent at VC Noel. Vince, of course, no inside info, no contacts, no problem. And how are you doing on this day before the booster renewal deadline, Vince?
I'm doing fine. I'm well under the deadline. Uh, I'm sure there's not a deadline to get yourself out to do some offshore fishing. There's no
Mm,
deadline for that. I mean, Captain Black may have a season, and maybe he's off at certain times. I don't really know all the details behind that, but I'm pretty sure because I've seen some clips from him going out in the morning on the brand new Captain Black, the new vessel in his fleet. I think you can take up to 20 people on that vessel. What a great time for you and your friends to go do, or you and your family to go do some offshore fishing out of Panama City Beach. Give our buddy Captain John Black a call. He is a Knoll, he's a chief, and he's just an all around great guy. So you should do that. You should also, by the way, take your talents to the Palace. The Palace, which is a tradition in Tallahassee. They are our game day sponsor. Great people that own that, owned it for quite a while now. They are good friends of mine, good friends of Ryan's. And recently, they've also become pretty much the home base for AU vodka out of the UK. This is actually my last can. And so I need to go get some more. I don't think I've seen it here in Jacksonville at all. But anyway, this stuff is delicious. It is a vodka seltzer, and it is juicy peach soda. It's delicious, Ryan. You haven't tried this yet, but you should.
it's only a matter of time. The season is upon us. Speaking of the season, it'll be upon us before no time. And as I mentioned on the kind of show here at the beginning, the deadline to renew season tickets is tomorrow. I was fighting, kicking,
Gotcha.
screaming, deciding, uh, but I did it, Vince. You
You
got me,
did.
FSU. You got
You,
me. The repeated texts finally motivated me. The pressure of the deadline of, hey, tomorrow's the last day, and I went, well, okay, fine.
didn't didn't you sign up for the Bound Society and all that stuff?
No, nah, no.
You did not? I thought you were
What
going to
I
do all that.
No, I did keep my same seats and everything too. So nothing is changing. I'm still in section 120,
Hmm.
um, seven seats, aisle seats, 17 through 18. So I'm on the end zone, and Vince, because of all the complications last year, not a whole lot of games were had, but this year, things much more normalized, and coming up this season, I will be we have a whole plan. We have it all planned out. We're going to be putting the pup in Pet Paradise in
Very
Tallahassee.
nice. Very nice.
Now, Vince, I hope it's just me, but your video froze for. Oh, you're back. Okay, good. So, dropping the dog off in Tallahassee on the day of the games or on the night before. Now, one
Mhm.
difference on the season based right now we're talking is it's light outside. Look at all this. I've never had so much
Look
light
at you.
streaming into my office.
Yeah, are you using sunblock right now?
I should be. Uh, Comment section. Tell me if Vince's video is very choppy and
Why would
breaking
my
up,
video
but
be choppy?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Your
not
audio
good.
sounds fine, but the video it appears choppy on my end, but it also could be my end. Am I choppy?
You don't seem choppy to me. Um, so that's weird that my video would be choppy. So hopefully that's not happening. So if you're in the comments there and let us know if my video keeps freezing. I'm looking on here. I'm watching it on YouTube. It doesn't seem to be.
But they got me, Vince. Section 120. Uh, for those that you don't know, actually, I'm going to remind myself. I can't remember um, what side. I think it's the middle, like the very middle. Let me pull it up here on the seating chart. I'm pretty sure it's exactly on the end zone, like right in the middle.
Hmm.
So excited about it. Yeah. So 120 is the exact middle, like opposite of the marching chiefs.
It is, yes. So those are chairbacks, right?
Yes, they are chairbacks,
I think.
and um, the main thing I went with those for is because two things. There's two reasons. Aisle was available, and I much prefer an aisle seat because I like to be able to go to concessions in a hurry and not have to do the whole like, excuse
Mhm.
me. Now you do have to put up with people doing it to you
You
because you're on the
do,
aisle.
but you're on the very end, so by the time they get to you, like, they're
Yeah,
out in the open once they pass you, so the
correct.
chances of you getting a close encounter are less.
And the other reason would be mostly because when you're on the first level, you just walk around in the stadium into your chair. There's not this like pardon the pun. There's not a climb. Um,
Yeah,
and so on those hot summer days when you enter Doak Campbell and you're looking at the ramps going up, you're like, man, I'm sweating already, and it's about to get a lot sweatier. And then when the game's over, boom, you're first out. You're on the ground level. You're out of the stadium, and you're on your way. So, and it's also an inspiration motivation, Vince, because right above me will be the shade from the Champions Club. Now, you not in the Champions Club,
mhm,
but as
mhm.
you know Doak Campbell very well, just as well as I know, Vince, in the summertime at noon or 3:30 games, usually that end zone partially shaded by the angle of the sun. Uh,
Yeah,
and
it
it
depends
usually
on the
cuts off.
equinox and,
Yeah,
yeah.
it usually cuts off if you go to the away side. The very first section of the away side, about halfway up, the shade ends for the rest of the away side, but it usually covers down the Champions Club's. You know, I can't get the location right, but the Champions Club is at an angle, and the shades from the Champions Club, the little banner, the little canopies, cascade the light down to the lower
Yeah,
level of section 120. So the shade, the location, the lack of the climb might pair with the season. Um, we're gonna have a good time, but then it's inspiration where I can go, hey, Kristen, see up
yeah.
there?
We would already be in the shade, and you would have some food at your
If it
disposal
was up to me,
if we were in the Champions Club,
and
and
it's I've
yeah.
already made the. Um, this year would have been a discussion that I would have had to keep bringing up and annoying and arguing about.
Mhm.
But next year, I've already said it that it's happening next year.
Yeah, you planted the seeds.
Yeah. So come at the end of the season comes to an end. Uh, I will be calling
When
my rep and saying,
right,
"Let's go."
when your booster rep calls you, before he even gets a word out, you're gonna say, "Yes."
Yes. Time to move up to the deluxe apartment in the sky. And I hope, Vince, by that point, you're ready to join, and then we can chill together in the Garnet Old Memorial Champions Club.
That's right. I would be happy to join you. We'll see how it goes. You know, I still have some kids on the payroll.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that all goes. Speaking of the payroll, Ryan, if anybody's interested in supporting the show, the first thing and the best thing you can do is right down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and make sure we're getting the algorithm going. Really appreciate
Mm.
it when everybody does that. So you can support us that way. That way is free, everybody. There is no charge for that. It's free to you because you are our friends. You can just subscribe and like. But let's just say
Yeah.
you have a couple extra uh dollars, some dinero that you would like to support an up and coming Florida State based fan 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 forward show. That's Garnet and Old. You can support the show here by super chatting us on YouTube. And we have a goal tonight of $100. That's our goal every week. And also, you could also Venmo us, Venmo Garnet and Old. That way, if you actually do that, and Ryan, you know, we've had a couple people actually do that, and the reason why they've done it is they don't want to give YouTube any cut of that money, right?
Yeah,
Because
we
when
don't
you
want
go
you.
through
Yeah, well, yeah,
YouTube,
yeah.
I mean, they want it, they want it.
The
But
people want it.
the people want it. So that's a way you can do that. And then also, if you're really feeling in a generous mood, you could grab the link that you're watching this show in and just say, hey, all my Nole brethren, Nole fandom, even some rivals, come join the show here. Join us tonight on Garnet Old.
Put a smile on your face.
I'm in
Say,
my
Garnet Old,
sanctuary.
if we're gonna do it in, we do it big. Speaking of do it big, let's get right into the spring practice, Vince. The closed spring practices. I want to start at the quarterback. I think the message so far. Close these blinds a little bit. Look at that, much better. The message has been clear so far, Vince, from what I've read on the intel, that on the sheets, as it were. Back if you're an OG '90s wrestling fan, the dirt sheets. All right, the dirt sheets say that it's pretty clear that Ashton Daniels is grabbing control of that position. Mainly, Norvell's praised his command, first of all, of the offense and the padded practices, and then in all the intel I've read, Vince, is that although Kevin Sperry possesses the mobility and got out of the pocket, made a nice throw downfield or something like that, everything I've read suggests that kind of Daniels' veteran presence and his ability to read the defense and get the ball downfield is winning the day so far.
I would expect that as early in the camp, because he's been around a lot longer. He's played the game. He's played the college game longer, so I'd expect early on in camp for him to be ahead. I do, Ryan. I'm like you. I do expect him to be the starter, but I also am not in the camp that he's just the de facto starter and there's no competition. If you were Norvell, first of all, I need to borrow some money. If you were Norvell, but also if you were him, would you just give the job to some guy because he's older? Or are you going to give the job to someone that you think you can win with?
Yeah, I mean, if your job's on the line, I would literally, even if someone was Vince, and me and you were the most talented quarterback on let's say,
which I often have been.
Let's say you were the quarterback, Vince, one of the quarterbacks on my team. We've been doing this show forever, and I'm like, yeah, Vince is looking like a solid B, which is awesome. And then there's a B plus, and my job was on the line. I'd be like, hey Vince, I'm sorry, man. Got to go with this here B plus quarterback. Yeah, I know it's close.
Yeah,
but if I want to have a job next year,
I wouldn't be offended by that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that guy. And so you would expect that in a year in which Norvell on every list is the number one coach on the hot seat. He is aware of that, intimately aware. And I think he knows that that the rope might not even be that long as far as the length of the season goes till that could happen.
We'll say, as a parent, when your kids would ask you, "Hey, Dad, can we do this or do that?" The answer was always like, "Well, we'll see. We'll see."
Right, and it's even more of an issue because Jaden O'Neal's out for the season.
Right.
So you're like, well, I've basically got two options here. And I pray to God one of them doesn't get down, because then we're getting in scary territory. We better wrap these quarterbacks in bubble wrap over the next 7 months, because there's not a lot of depth at the position. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if in another cycle we get an additional transfer, even if they're not a legitimate threat to anyone.
Well, there is another guy on the team.
A body. You got another body.
You got another body. You got debt. What are you going to do? Just get rid of it?
That's why I don't have the Champions Club tickets today, Vince. Okay.
What are you talking about, man? You have a home that's completely mortgage free.
Yeah, but it's not fix up free, nor trash free, nor property disaster free, and then also just paying off.
I'm just kidding with you, man. I'm kidding with you.
But to get back to it, what I am encouraged by, Vince, is no matter who the quarterback is, word on the street is Danzy is turning into quite the quite the threat. Now, we love Danzy anyways.
Yeah,
We didn't love that. We didn't love that Gus Malzahn just put him in end around city last year. But when he did get to run that go route, and he would be blazing by everyone. Combine that with the big man on the other side, and we got that's quite a duo. So if you have a competent quarterback, you have quite the 1-2 punch there.
yeah, and I think we've got a quarterback. If it's Ashton or if it's Kevin Sperry, I think I think most people would agree that the arm talent there, the accuracy is noticeably better than Tommy, right? So, and while that's not saying a whole lot, it is something. I mean, how many games were there last year, Ryan, where if there was even the modicum of some accuracy on some throws, then maybe there's an extra win or two, right? From last year. So when you've got Deuce on the roster, and you've got Danzy, who is supremely talented as an athlete in general, but now he's really coming into his own as a receiver.
Yep.
You can't just, you know, you can't just focus on one guy, which is really, really important. So yeah, Danzy has been the talk of the team for a while, and I think we're seeing more of that now. And also, um, we're also hearing some good things about the defensive line.
Sure, yeah, especially the two pieces on the defensive line immediately stand out. Well, we knew the Desir, right? I mean, the Desir
The
train,
serum,
the Desirum. Yeah, they're it's on full effect, right? But then to kind of I think we knew that's like a known quantity. Very few known quantities
yeah,
on defense. But when we do talk about known qualities, there was a reason why we were all panicking in the offseason when there was so much noise around that whole thing, right?
sure, yep,
It's because we knew if those guys are on the line, I feel pretty good about our chances. And now you're pairing that with Demonte Diggs, who last season was out the whole year, and or most of last year. I think he played like 2 games or something like that.
yeah.
Um,
Last year's a blur.
yeah, and what we've been hearing on all of the dirt sheets and all the rumors is that a surprise standout, frame wise, body wise, effort. And listen, if you pair those two things together, you can have. We all know, Vince. We've watched these teams outside of Florida State, teams that have been ass average, but they have like one or two pieces on the defensive line that causes problems.
Yeah.
You can be in a shootout with a team that you have no business being in a shootout with because they keep getting to the quarterback over and over.
Yes, which heaven knows that we are due to get to the quarterback at some point.
Yeah. And so you hope that those pieces combined, from everything we're hearing, stay healthy, knock on wood, uh, lead to more pressure on the quarterback, lead to more excitement on the defensive line, both tackle and positions. And then maybe we fill in a couple of nice players that happen to have a good season that we don't even know about right now that are young come uppers and they kind of match that new energy. But I think what has been apparent to me, Vince, and I can't say this about the previous staff, is that it sounds like Blue Adams and Nick Williams, both the new coaches, early impression is very good on both the cornerback and the on the defensive end position coaches, because it's sometimes, Vince, when you Florida State was like this for a couple years, right?
Climbing.
And so when you're climbing and responding, it's really easy to buy into what the coaches are telling you because you're doing it and you're seeing the result, and you're doing it, you're seeing the result, and so you're saying, okay, whatever they're selling, it's working, so let's keep doing it.
You're right.
Then we hit 2 years ago, and it fell off a map, and then last year continued to fall off a map. Well, at some point, when the proof is in the pudding, and you feel like you're being coached, and the coaching is not paying off, and whatever reason, it's not clicking, it's not going well. It's real easy to in your own head be like, is he teaching me like are we being taught the right way? Like, are we doing this the right way?
Sure.
It's human
Sure.
nature. So now, even if you have no results yet in an actual season, it's someone new. You're like, this guy seems like it's no different than hiring a new company. You see someone who's struggling managing like a team or something for a year, and you finally make the call. You let the person go. Right? It's a hard decision. No matter what, when that new hire comes in, you're like, they seem intelligent, and I think we should let them kind of cook. It's the same thing on football. These players are looking at these new coaches and going, well, until proven otherwise, you sound like you're a smart individual.
Yeah, and as far as Williams is concerned, I'll add Ernie Sims in there too. It seems like we've got at least a couple of guys that are completely bought into the recruiting side of things too. So it's one thing, and like you said, you've got guys that are kind of buying in because these coaches are new, and so why not buy in, right? They have not shown that they're inept, or there has not been any kind of crash out with the types of things that they're coaching.
Yeah,
But you got these guys, but they're energetic. I mean, and they are on the recruiting trail. And from everything that I've read, there's a noticeable difference in the type of boards that they're building for their respective spots, right? So again, this is all optimistic viewpoints, and which I tend to be. But really, is there any negative? I mean, are there negatives coming out of the actual spring camp other
wouldn't
than
even hear about it though.
right? But I'm just you're right. We wouldn't hear about it, but I don't get the feeling like there is this over exuberance for what's going on at spring camp, but I also don't feel like there's this negativity about spring camp that's not because of previous seasons, right? So
Right.
this is
There's no
kind of what I
baggage.
yeah, this is kind of what I think the staff and the program was hoping for is kind of like, fly under the radar. It's not like Coach Laux saying, you know, be careful about poking the bear, which is what he said, right? With all these
Yeah.
rivals like digging into the Noles about quitting on the season and everything because not going to the NIT. Like Norvell's not saying anything. Nobody's saying anything to heighten expectations or to minimize. It's like they're totally content to lay in the weeds and just get some work done, which is tough for us, Ryan. When we're talking about the team, it's tough for us to have, really meaty things to talk about. But also, I think for them, like they're not the last thing they need is people, batting down the door about, blowing sunshine or negativity.
I do want to talk about one. I mean, you asked if there was anything negative out of camp. The only thing negative I can think about is the kicker, Connor McCaney, being arrested and charged with a felony Wednesday for battery on law enforcement officer during spring break. Um, so
Yeah,
that's
that's not
fun.
good. That's not good.
Uh,
I do think my
and Vince,
video is kind of weird right now.
yeah, you look like DSL in 1999, which is impressive. The pixelization, but yes, and not my favorite. I never should say this about a Florida State arrest, but the mug shot was impressive. You got a little blood on the lip. Uh, my man got tackled to the ground clearly on concrete. Um, but it's a kicker. Let's not worry about that. We ain't got time to worry about a kicker in spring practice. So we're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. That's what I intend to do.
Yeah, there's no reason, by the way, that my video should be having a problem because I'm getting like 800 meg up. So who knows what's going on? Yeah, so apparently he had already been escorted out of a few other bars by the time this happened. And he must have,
Yeah,
our boy must have been having a good old time, Ryan.
He was
Uh,
pulling a Shia LaBeouf in New Orleans and Mardi Gras, and he was just going in and out of the bars and having a great time. Now, so we're going to pretend like that didn't exist, but what we are going to do, Vince, is while that's the only piece of bad news I can think of, the piece of amazing news, Vince, and it was music to my heart, was FSU absolutely housing the old Wake Forest baseball
yeah,
team,
yeah. Haven't swept
ten
them in a
to
while.
yeah 10-0 and 12-6 in the final. So and keep in mind, Wake Forest was a top 25 ranked baseball team. When it into Winston Salem, you know how tough it can be, Vince, to play in Winston Salem, and then they followed it up with a little Bethune Cookman action. So Florida State baseball is on a little bit of a stinger here.
Yeah, Wake Forest has got a good team, and they were actually ranked ahead of the Noles going into that series. But you know what? College baseball rankings are weird, man. There's really no rhyme or reason to them sometimes, often, actually. But Wake Forest was ranked ahead. And a matter of fact, I mean, if you were to poll people, and if there were some predictions made on the series, and most of the people that follow this stuff really closely predicted Wake Forest. Most people did.
Yeah,
But man, the arms have really come to play.
Wes
And
Mendez.
yeah, Trey Beard as well. And then against Bethune Cookman, they had a combined no hitter. Which, by the way, Bethune Cookman scored a run. I didn't watch that game, so when I saw the final where it was a no hitter, but yet they scored a run, I kind of did the old dog thing, like, how did that happen? Um, but yeah, so they're playing really well, which is a really good sign, because when they went and played Florida down in Hogtown, they looked overmatched in terms of being at the plate. Like, the Florida arms dominated them.
Yeah,
And so it was really kind of like, uh-oh, what's going on here? Now, Wake Forest has some good arms too. And so I'll just chalk up the Florida one until I see any other kind of evidence to the contrary. I'll just chalk the Florida one up as kind of a blip.
yeah. Now, what's interesting is, what is their record? I think it's like 17-2, 17-3, something like that.
Yeah, not sure.
Um, before we talk about, because I do want to get to softball as well, Vince. What did you think about Florida State non NIT on the basketball front?
Um, Selfishly, I was frustrated by that, because I was really enjoying, as a fan, I was really enjoying watching the team play and watching the team grow. Um, so as a selfish fan, I was offended that they did not do it. Um, but as a forward-thinking person, if, the seniors were beat up and, like, they were done, and it would have kept the coaching staff from continuing on with their plan for recruiting and things like that. I get that. And so, even though selfishly I wanted to keep seeing them play, I am not particularly I'm okay with them deciding to do it, or not do it.
No, the heart in me. Uh, and Vince, if you want to try to hop out and hop back in, so your videos unfreeze, and I can kind of carry things for a little bit if you want.
Yeah, let me give that a try. This is completely unbelievable. I'll be back.
But when it comes to the basketball NIT, it's kind of how I feel like about bowl games that aren't like the national, beginning in the playoff race or anything like that. Which is, um, I understand. A good example is Florida State was apparently in bowl season offered to go play here and actually in Statesboro to play in a bowl game, and they turned it down. And as a fan, I'm like, oh man, like my town, I could have even gone seen it here. My I would like to see my team play. I like to see as much football as possible. But then you also understand the reasons that the college, that the university would not want to do that. There's a lot of reasons going on with coaching changes and teams and people leaving and everything like that. So the same thing applies to basketball for me. When the basketball team says, "Hey, not going to happen to the NIT," the fan in me says, "Well, that sucks. I would have liked to have seen what you could do, especially after you almost beat some good teams down the stretch." But I do understand their reasoning. I just, the fan in me wishes I could have seen a little bit more, especially after the thrilling game that we did get right before the season ended. Vince, you look beautiful 4K right now. It's like you came into HDR.
Listen, let me tell you that if your whole life is having a problem, all you need to do is reboot it.
Yes, indeed you do. So I'm right there with you, Vince. Fan of me, and it would have been great just to see more basketball. But at the end of the day, I understand the reasoning why you would not, and so it is what it is. That's the kind of situation it is next. But I tell you what isn't is what it is. Softball.
Is is you is or is you ain't my baby.
Look, Vince,
Um,
give me a little love for Lonnie.
I mean, obviously everybody loves Lonnie, right? And it's she's just one of the best softball coaches in America, and she's got a staff that's exquisite as well. Um, and she's just built. Ryan, you and I have been part of companies that are very much about culture and fit, and
Mhm.
and and we have enjoyed those things multiple times. Um, Lonnie is all about that. And also, in addition to that, she's also finding fantastic players, right? And so when you couple the fact that you got people with skills and they fit the culture, you get what you get, which is a program that is, uh, you know, first of all, uh, winning at a crazy clip, but also really fun to watch play and also fun to watch them interact. They've got this family thing going on, and I've been to a softball game or two already this season. Um, I don't know if you've ever been to one, Ryan, there, but it's a great time. It's a great time, and it's a good crowd every time you go there. So, Lonnie, love Lonnie, and the team is, like I said, fun to watch, and they can hit. I think um, the arms have been getting better. And if I think if I would say that there might be some weaknesses there, I think maybe a dominant arm might be that. But yeah, so love softball, and they've been kicking butt too. They swept Syracuse recently. When I was watching them, when I was over there, we went to see them play Rutgers on a few games. They swept them as well. So the same thing kind of with the baseball team. Early in the season, when the softball team went and did the tournament down in Clearwater, there was some moments during that people were like, "Oh, maybe this is not going to turn out too well." But they've really turned it around, and they're a force to be reckoned
Yeah,
with. Nole fans, if you are not following the softball team, you should. And if you can get there to actually watch a game, I would recommend that as well.
yeah, and even if you don't know or haven't watched a lot of softball, let's say you're a baseball fan. What if I just told you that Torres, one of the best players on the team, is a little 648 batting average? Which, if you've ever played baseball or even watched it as a fan, you understand that that's insane.
Yeah, I think the last I read, because they had a game canceled this week because Texas Tech couldn't get here for whatever reason. But I think Isa Torres had reached base like 19 straight times, 19 at bats on base 19 times, something ridiculous. And one of the games against Syracuse, I think she had gotten six hits in a game. So, I mean, she's on a tear.
You know what else is on a tear, Vince? Me and you seeing each other more often now these days. You know?
We are, yeah, we are. Um, my video better? I think it is.
You have been in 4K HDR. It's like I went to the Dolby Cinema,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and you're on the screen now instead of going to the old Hollywood theater.
Atmos, and you get VC
Yeah,
Null in 4K, which is you may not want it, but you've got it. So hopefully that keeps up. A little reboot. Little reboot. Yeah, so we've been seeing each other a lot more, Ryan. Um, which is
I
nice.
can't believe it's
It's really
Thursday
nice.
already.
Yeah. It's Thursday, people, which you know what that means. We got the weekend
Premiere.
coming
Uh,
up. What are you doing this weekend, Ryan? Are you going to watch some pro bull riding?
I'll be in Duval.
Are you coming to Duval?
Well, for like half a day on Saturday. My wife's family every year they live out in like near Callahan, one of her family
Hmm.
members, and they have big old property, and they do the classic Southern seafood boil,
Oh, I love it.
right?
Corn, sausage,
Corn,
shrimp.
potatoes, mushrooms,
Oh.
shrimp, Old Bay, lots of Old Bay
Mm-hmm.
seasoning,
Mm-hmm.
and mussels. What you do is you do the mussels first. It's the appetizer, and then everyone gets a shucker, and you all stand near the boiling water. And as they come out and they cool, you just grab those suckers off there and have you a little taste. And then once those are done, then the boil starts. You got to make sure the potatoes are right. That's an important piece. The potatoes
Yeah. That's how
got to
you
be
know.
all the way through.
That's how you know. That's
Now,
how
I have
we
a
go ahead.
I have a controversial take on the boil.
Uh-oh.
I like every piece of it. I'm not a big corn on the cob fan because I don't like anything on the cob because it gets stuck in your teeth. I like
Mm-hmm.
corn, but just not on the cob. But that's not the controversial take. Can't we all just do peeled shrimp for once in our lives?
Yeah, why do
Like,
we have to
I love shrimp, but when you're at a boil and you're like, I'm having to peel this skin off, and it's not coming off very easy. It's very frustrating. So what I end up doing is getting like 75% sausage portion because
Mm-hmm.
it's just too much work for the shrimp. When all I want to do is tell them guys they sell these things already pre-peeled, like they come like this.
They do. I don't know why that is. I don't think have I been to a seafood boil that where the shrimp was peeled? Maybe I have. Those of you that put on the seafood boil, please take into account the efficiency and ease of eating the product and
Yeah,
get yourself some peeled shrimp
because most of the time,
or peel it ahead of time.
you have some cheap ass paper plate and you're sitting on like a fold out chair, right? Because there's 30 people there or family in there.
Yeah, and where
And,
are you going to
and
put the carcasses?
where are you going to put well, you're trying to peel while keeping the plate. You have to hold as a man, you got to hold your legs together to keep the plate on there. And then you're trying to peel the shrimp. So what I end up doing is going back for seconds and getting like 10 pieces of sausage and potato and mushrooms, and then
Mhm.
holding the plate like this with a fork and doing just one of these because it
But
was
you don't
too
have
much
to
work for
peel
the
the
shrimp.
sausage.
So yeah, I'm the sausage, you're the shrimp, Vince. Don't
The
peel the
beef and the
Vince.
shrimp. Beef and the shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of some fantastic food, and we're off on a tangent here. I get it, people, but there's not a lot to talk about these days with the Knowles right now on March 19th. Um, so St. Patrick's Day, Ryan. Did I send you a picture of the Guinness Irish stew that Shannon made? I think I
Yes,
did.
it looked delicious. I didn't know it was St. Patrick's Day until you sent me that picture.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day needs a better marketing team.
They do it.
Um,
Did you see it anywhere? I really didn't.
well, kind of. I mean, I was paying attention to it a little bit, but Shannon made this and I'm not Irish. I mean, I have a little bit of Irish in me. I'm Italian. Shannon, she's Italian as well, maybe a little Irish in there, but who knows? You never know. We're kind of a mixed bag. But so she made this Irish. I was like, I would really love some Guinness Irish stew. And she made it. It was cooked all day, Ryan. It cooked all
Mm,
day. And just the aroma within the house.
mm.
Like I could not wait for dinner. I could not wait for it. And so when dinner rolled around, let me tell you, it was phenomenal. So if you're looking for an Irish stew recipe, let us know in the chat or find me on X. I will send it to you. It was awesome, Ryan. And if you were closer, I would have boxed you up a little bit and brought it to you.
Well, I do love St. Patty's Day, which is unfortunate. Like that, I didn't think about it this year because it was like, it's the middle of the week. You're just doing your work week. Just got back from vacation, so I'm here like just kind of grinding, and someone's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, St. Patty's Day," and you're like, "Yeah, sure." But did it bring you back, Vince? Did it bring you back to pre-game in Ireland? Did it bring you back
Well,
in time?
I texted a few of the people that I hung out with in Ireland for that game. Yes, it absolutely, and it always will. I think for the rest of my life, because whenever I have a Guinness now, or whenever I have a Smittix, or whenever I have anything that I had when I was there, I'm going to think about that trip. Game aside, the result of the game aside, it was just a pivotal moment in my fandom that I will never forget, Ryan. And I wish you would have been there.
Hey, listen, I was there in spirit, and then I was happy I wasn't there after the game. Um, uh, although it probably still was fun. I
Oh, we had a
forget how
ton of
many
fun.
days you stayed after that. If you left the day after next
Yeah,
few
I
days,
think we're there
but
for 2 or 3 days after that. We did some
yeah,
tours and things, and it was well worth the money that we spent on it. And just being able to couple going overseas to a country I'd never gone to, but had always wanted to, with Florida State being there, was just completely memorable, like I just said. So yeah, I absolutely thought about it. Cracked open a Guinness, sent some photos to some people that I was hanging out with in Dublin, and yeah, it's a good reminiscing going on there.
I wish I had a Guinness though. That moment when you said, "Hey, look at the stew," because I would have drank it.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, no. I will go to the UK at some point, but the wife needs to get her full passport.
Speaking of the UK, Ryan, I don't know if you know this, but at the Palace Saloon, they've got this fantastic brand new vodka seltzer called AU, and I'm
Mm.
currently drinking the Juicy Peach Soda. And they are headquartered in the UK, and they have decided that Tallahassee is their home base in the US. They literally went to a number of different college towns and decided that Tallahassee was the one that reminded them most of being at home, and that is where where they're launching their brand here in the United States. And the Palace is one of the places that you can get it. And if, you know, you should try it, Ryan. I'm gonna get you some. I'm gonna bring you some.
Well, I'll be at the Palace this coming fall, and looking forward to it very much because of how much I missed out
You
last year.
did.
Now, Vince, have you secured our spots? Like, are we good with parking? Do I need to purchase parking through Florida State? What are we doing?
We
Have you
don't
talked
know the
with
par-
our buddy?
we don't know the parking situation yet. As far as Lot 12 is concerned, there is rumor, and I brought this up before on the show. There's rumor that because of the shenanigans of the past season, with um, boosters, higher level boosters not getting reserve spots as much as they had in the past, that they're going to start acquiring more of the outer lots for these reserve spots. Um, I hope that does not happen for Lot 12, because I will not be able to get in Lot 12 then. But if it does happen, you and I both know, Ryan, we have a standing invitation, literally, to get a primary spot at the Palace, and we could do our tailgate there and actually do our show from the Palace.
I would like to have that ready, Vince, for the. Let's talk about the bull riding.
Mm. Have you ever ridden a bull, Ryan?
In a bar once.
Okay,
I
how'd
think
that go?
uh, I think you might know the bar's name in Tallahassee.
Mm.
And
Stetsons?
yeah, well, I forget which one it was, but back in the day, yes, country themed. Got kicked off immediately. Very, very no balance, no bueno, no balance. I landed kindly though, right flat in my back. Actually, when it threw me off, I landed like this. Boom, took the bump, didn't hurt at all. Was good to go. Sometimes you see people fly off, and you're like, "That's gonna smart," right there.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's cool that. I mean, you have to assume that this was part of the overspending on all at once to get the stadium up to speed because now we're seeing events rapid fire. Sometimes you see these projects. I'll use the center of Tallahassee for example. Let's talk about the center of Tallahassee. What used to be the mall, the Tallahassee Mall. When it was pitched, it was like, hey, the center of Tallahassee. We're gonna have craft eateries and breweries, and there's gonna be events nonstop. It's gonna be a party every day. And then they open it, and it's like two parcels are sold. There's one restaurant, like a barbecue restaurant, and then occasionally in the pavilion there's a band, like a local band, and it doesn't quite match the reason for the reno and why we started here in the first place. Now,
Right.
take Florida State. Not, I don't think we have a center of Tallahassee situation going on. They don't
I
let their
doesn't seem
LEDs
like
die
it.
out yet. Um,
Right,
so
right.
we just got the bananas, right?
Great time at the Bananas, great time.
Bull
Packed,
riding, different
completely sold
crowd,
out. Yes,
different
and a
crowd.
much more expensive ticket as well.
Yes. Now, what I'm waiting for, and I'm be int- I like to see the pictures on X of like when the events take, like when the bananas were there. Like, oh, that's weird because it's like it's Joe Campbell, but there's this happening. I'm ready to see the bull riding, but what I'm really ready for is the first time they do Monster Jam Sunday,
Yeah.
Sunday. Like, give me the Monster Jam at Joe Campbell. That's an event I'll go to.
Well, I don't know if you probably know this. The bull riding already happened.
No, no,
So
but
the
Monster Jam.
oh yeah, Monster Jam, that would be fun as well. I've never actually been to one of those. But
Oh, you're missing out.
what's what's interesting is, and I saw somebody post about this, is, you know, for years and years and years, everybody was all up in arms about the turf at the stadium. As a matter of fact, when I was in Chiefs, long, long ago, when we would march in the stadium as part of our continuity uh, rehearsal on Saturday morning before the game, we would have to march in socks. Like we couldn't even wear shoes. And so they're very protective of the turf, understandably. But then, they're so protective of the turf, and then you see it on TV sometimes and it looks horrible. Like what are we doing? Like we're spending all this money, redid the drainage one time or maybe multiple times, replacing the turf, and it never. And I remember, Ryan, you probably remember, there was that game where guys were running and you could see like sand kicking up and turf kicking up behind them. So it's like, where is all this money going? But now they've got this lay and play turf, which apparently, is not just for the football season, it's good for everything. And what I mean by that is, okay, you want to bring in monster trucks, you want to bring in PBR, fine. We'll just, tear up the turf or lay something down on top of it. And then when it's all said and done, we're going to bring in brand new turf. And so really, if that's the route we're going, is it more expensive than just trying to manage your own turf? I don't know that it is, because imagine all the money they were putting into turf upkeep and it still wasn't right. It
It's
still
never
wasn't
right.
right.
Yeah.
So,
But you know this, Vince. There will always be complainers.
mm,
Always. There'll always be people. It could be beautiful, and they'll be like, "The paint didn't look quite right today." You
right.
know. Uh, but I'm going to focus. I'm going to try at all costs, Vince. Focus on the positives this season. So
That's
if we're getting blown out 30-0, I'm going to be like, the concessions that were quick.
Yeah, and this seat is
Yeah.
really comfortable.
This seat is comfort. The bleacher is a little bit bigger, isn't it? Oh, look at this,
And
man.
I'm
That
on the
screen.
end.
That screen's not missing a single pixel. You
Yeah.
know, look
And
at that.
the shade has hit you before you expected it.
Yeah, so you gotta live in the positive realm. The older I get, the more I try to stress to people. It's all good. Like, hey, man, at the worst day you've had in the last month, next day you wake up and you always think to yourself, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I always tell people you're on this side of the dirt and you've got some food in the fridge. Maybe you have a beverage, got some family that loves you. You're going to complain about the paint on the field. Okay, if you want to do that, I guess you can. But I
Yeah,
choose not to be that way, Ryan. I know
yeah.
you're like that as well.
I only complain when a lot of things add up all at once. Like when the LED is broken, the sound is
The
very
DJ
loud
is going crazy,
with DJ music. The product on the field is terrible, and it took me an hour to get into the stadium. So it's like the
and my
grace.
pretzel is rock hard.
My grace starts here, and one little issue it goes right back up. If you do five all at once, it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
what is we doing? Because I know what projects look like when what a event, not to the scale of a Florida State game, but you and I both know, Vince. At the end of the day, these Saturday college football games, they're glorified projects with project managers who have a job to do.
Oh, are you kidding
And
me? It's
and so
exactly
like
what they are is a project.
yeah, and so when you're looking at the project and you know that project manager probably 17 times that week walked around and looked up at the board and we're like, why aren't those working? We're just gonna leave it. It'll be fine. That would bother me as if I'm
Yeah.
a judger. So but yeah, one little thing, like if someone spilled my drink on me, hey, no big deal, it's just a shirt. But if you spilled my drink on me and then I slipped on a banana peel and then someone fell over me with
Wow. It's like
barbecue
a
sauce,
cartoon. It's like a cartoon. Yeah.
yeah. Now this no this did happen. Quick story time. Last year, or a year and a half ago, Kristen and I went to Epic Universe in public previews, like when it was
Mm.
closed for the public, and it was a little late. Like it opened, it was only open for previews from like 11 to 6 or something like that. So we didn't eat breakfast. So right when we got to the park, we're like, before we go on anything or do anything, let's get some food. They had a barbecue restaurant that had good reviews, like on the previews. We went in there, Vince. We went in there. We're eating a bar. It's really good barbecue. There's a guy uh, cleaning the table next to us, employee, right next to us. My back is faced to him, but I can see him in the periphery, wiping the tables. He picks up one of the barbecue sauce bottles, and it starts to slip out of his hand, and he tries to catch it, but instead of trying to catch it, he slams it down. His hand, he catches it on the table, slamming it, and I feel barbecue sauce squirt on my back from the shirt all the way on the back of my shorts.
Hmm.
And the guy stood and stared for a good 20 seconds before saying, like, I'm sorry. And I was like, I was trying to be calm because I'm like, I know this isn't like a little stain. I dropped bar. It's a squirt.
Yeah.
And it's brown on my shorts right now, big. And I was calm. And Kristen's like, oh my goodness. But the guy comes up to me and I was like, I'm thinking, like, give me a wet rag, right?
Anything.
He brings the little napkins, a few of them.
Oh, the great napkins too, I'm sure.
And then he just walks away. And so, Vince, that day, immediately following the barbecue restaurant, because I'm covered, like my whole back and my ass is barbecue sauce. I went, because I'm like, what do we do? Because it's not like you don't want to buy brand new clothes. So I literally go to the bathroom, into the handicap stall, strip naked, and wash my clothes in the sink. Now, here's my take. When you're at a theme park in the summertime, uh, you get soaked. There's water rides, right? And there is water ride at this theme park. And I'm like, here's what will happen. No one will think 2 seconds about me being soaked from head to toe, my shirt being wet, my pants being wet. They'll just be like, you
You
just
went on
got
the
off the water
flume.
ride. So I filled up the sink. I stopped up the sink with a paper towel, filled it up with, I kept going like this under the hand soap and then putting in the water, and putting in the water. Got a full lather on my shorts and sat there going like this, then drained the sink and then rinsed the shorts in the shirt. And guess what? I walked out there, both of them soaked. Like I actually, instead of just having one area, I soaked the whole thing to it. So it was a unified look,
Sure.
but no more stain. It was gone completely. And it dried because it was summertime in like 45 minutes walking around. And I was good to go. So I forgave the man. But my dude, if you ever do that again, how about you like bring me a wet rag that's not a piece of napkin,
How about
and then
maybe that
offer,
restaurant? Maybe that restaurant has some merchandise like a shirt with
yeah,
their logo
offer,
on it.
yeah, let me get you a shirt or let me pay for your lunch, something like that.
Anything, anything.
He
A
walked away
similar
scared, I think.
a similar thing happened to me, which I'm not going to talk about tonight, but I have a similar barbecue sauce shrapnel story that I can tell you off air. But Ryan, we are going to have a Seminole Spring Weekend.
Yeah, we are. Now it's
We
not
are.
football.
It's not football. Now, that's the one thing that I wish that they could have coordinated, but I'm not going to complain, right? The Whataburger, not a sponsor, Seminole Spring Weekend, April 16th to the 19th. The 16th is lacrosse. It's a heritage game. On the 17th, you've got softball, you've got baseball. The baseball is a heritage game on Friday. On Saturday, you've got baseball and softball as well. The softball team will have a heritage game on Saturday. And then you got baseball and softball on Sunday as well. So if you are looking for, a chance to go over to Tally and you can catch baseball and softball. And how about, hey, you could catch some lacrosse if you get there on Thursday. That would be fun too. And you can wear your Seminole heritage turquoise stuff. Which, by the way, Ryan, I have a gift for you next time I see you.
What's that?
I have a Seminole heritage pullover for you.
Oh, and I hope you got it in small.
Yeah, it is extra small. It's actually the French word is petite. It's in petite.
Yeah, I want it. I want it nice and tight.
Um, so this
But
weekend,
yes,
Ryan, I think I am going to MegaCon
yes,
in Orlando. My daughter is already there with her friends, and so on Saturday, the wife and I and in-laws are getting up early, driving down to Orlando to go to MegaCon. Started going to this a few years ago. It's a lot of fun. Got involved with the cosplaying as well. So and I got my wife is also going to dress up, and my in-laws are going to wear some stuff as well. And so I will snap a photo of that and I will offer that up for next week's show.
nice. Your video got wonky for a second. I was a little worried,
It did?
just for a half second, and then it came right back. But good. We ended it perfectly tonight. That was beautiful. It was like everything worked back perfectly.
Yeah, so far
Vince,
so good.
no inside info, no contacts, no problem. Of course. No missing the booster renewal.
Right.
No missing season tickets.
Good for you, Ryan. I was wondering when that was going to happen. You got in right under the wire. So that means that everybody can look forward to some Garnet Old action live and in charge this season, this coming season. Thank you, Captain John Black, for sponsoring our show as usual. And thank you to the Palace Saloon as well for being a sponsor of Garnet Old. We really appreciate you guys, and we recommend that all of our viewers uh, search them out and patronize those two institutions.
Patronize Vince too. But have a great night, everyone. As always,
Then Chiefs all the
then
damn
Chiefs
time.
all the damn time. We did it at the same time. And everyone, go Knowles. Go enjoy your weekend. I hope Friday flies by. We can all get through it and then head to the weekend and have some fun. Be well, everyone. We will see you next week, Thursday, 7 o'clock. See you guys. Have a great night.
Go Noles.